What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I guess today we're going to work on the school bus a little bit. So it ended up being pretty nice. We've had a run of some weather come through, and it's finally got nice enough, as you guys can see, the blue sky behind me, to get out here and work on this thing a little bit. So today, my goal is to try and get one of the roof hatches off the bus and make a delete panel for it. So I guess I'll bring you guys along for that. And yeah, let's just get right into it. All right. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the emergency roof hatches is what we want to take out. So these things are known for leaks. And I've got a little seal around the edge here, but there's not a whole lot to them. So what we want to do is get these out and then come back in with a delete panel. And then eventually this area here will have a maxair fan. So that's the goal. You can kind of see where this one here has been leaking a little bit. So weather's nice enough to kind of get out here and see if we can't tackle this. I have some sheet metal. So the idea is to take off the roof hatches. There's the other one there. And then basically set them up here, trace out what I need to be traced out, and then put these on here. I have some butyl tape, and I have some self-leveling die-core sealant. So hopefully, with everything that I have, there goes a big wasp. Hey, man. Anyway, hopefully with everything I have, we'll be able to at least get one of these in here. So I just figured I'd drag you guys along for that. Why not, right? And I'm sorry about the wind noise. I'll try to mitigate that as best as I can. But yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. All right. So these are where the screws come through that holds the emergency hatch on. So let's get up here and see if we can get these things out. I kind of looked at them already, and I gotta say, guys, it doesn't look promising. So let me show you. All right, well, let's grab this. Looks like a game from Whack-A-Mole. All right, let me show you guys what we got. So now I can kind of show you what I'm a little concerned with. While these look like, and they do look like Phillips heads, you see they're pretty rusty. So anyway, let's see if we can get these out. I'm hoping I can get them out without them breaking. And then I guess we gotta scrape this caulking or sealant or whatever they're using up here. Well, let's see what we can do. All right, so let's see what we got here that will fit this. So before, in the bus, what looked like Phillips head screws, I found that the Robertson bit or the square tip bit seemed to work the best for whatever reason. And that's these here. I don't know if it will focus or not, but that's kind of what I was afraid of, that these are going to be just regular old Phillips heads. Let's see if a Phillips number 2 bit will fit it. Yep. Well, I guess we'll give it a go. And see what happens. Hold your ears. Okay, something happened there. Well, there's one. Let's see if we can get the rest of them out. All right, guys. So as you can see, I managed to get all those out. 2 or 3 of them gave me a little bit of a fit, but I was able to get them out. Now we got to get into this. I don't have a putty knife or anything, but I do have this multi-tool. It's got a blade on here. It's for cutting wood, I believe. Should work as long as I can get under this. I think once I get this started, come up, it should come up pretty easy, I hope. So I'm gonna get this set up and then start cutting through some of this sealant and see if we can get this thing to pop up. Well, let's see what happens. Here we go. Here. Alright guys, well, we got it off. This stuff is still sticky. It's butyl rubber, I believe, is what they're using. Some kind of tar stuff. So anyway, we're gonna have to get all of this scraped off. And then there's gonna be a couple things we're gonna have to get out of here. But once we get all this off, get it cleaned out, should be able to cut out our piece of metal using this as a template and then put it back together. Okay, so as I was rummaging through some of the other tools that I have, I realized that the last putty knife that I had, I broke it. So, yep, Shelby's out here helping. So I guess we're going to run to the store, hardware store, and see if we can't pick up a putty knife real quick. Alright guys, so made it back from the hardware store. Got us a couple of scrapers here, so I'm gonna get to work and I guess we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm not gonna bore you with this whole thing, so it'll probably be a time lapse. Alright, well, we got most of this cleaned up. I think now, if the wind noise, guys, I'm sorry, it's kind of windy out here. So I guess what we're going to do now is try to hit this with a wire wheel, try to get in here and get all this little bit of stuff, try to get that knocked out of there. So we want this as clean as possible, and then I'll come back and hit this with some wax grease remover, just try to get some of this stuff off. The other thing that I may or may not have to do, I hope not, I'm going to have to figure out how big I want this piece, because you see they had holes all the way to here, so I may not be able to use, well, there's a hole there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look and see what I can do, because I need that sheet metal to lay as flat against this as I can. And then, as you can see, these are rivets here. So if it comes all the way to these rivets, it'll be fine, but I may have to come in here with a grinder and knock these rivets here out enough to that where the sheet metal is going to come up to, so it lays flat, so that it seals good. So I'm gonna see what I have to do there, and then wire wheel this. When I get done with that, I'll bring you guys back. All right, so I wanted to show you guys real quick how far I got. So there were some high spots where they had the old roof hatch screwed in, so clean that up. And because I have holes here, I went ahead and took these rivets out. That way my new piece of metal will lay flat against this. So I didn't have acetone or lacquer thinner, but what I did have was some brake cleaner. So it is all clean all the way around. Check out the color difference between the old faded stuff and what it should look like. So all the way around is clean. So all right, well, we're gonna get our template made, cut out our metal, get the butyl tape and stuff ready, and then hopefully here shortly we'll be able to put our new piece of metal down. I'm gonna hit this with some primer, etching primer, just so one, is not bare metal here, and two, if any water gets in here and I don't see it, it shouldn't rust anything out. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and while that's drying, we're gonna cut the metal out. All right, guys, so I've been hard at work, kind of off camera here. So I've got my piece cut out, the steel. So I've already got it primed. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I do have it marked underneath and about where my screws and stuff are going to go. I'm kind of particular about that kind of thing, so I'll end up measuring the distance for the screws so that it all kind of looks kind of uniform. I was actually going to have to set this up here tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do that yet, just because it's supposed to get down cold again tonight, like 32. And I don't know if you guys know anything about butyl tape, but it tends to be hard to work with when it's super cold. So what we're probably going to do is kind of bleed this video into another day, because I'm going to go all the way around this and probably do two layers, or two strips wide, so that we can cover everything. And real quick, I'll go back up here just to show you guys what we got here. So it is painted, everything's nice and clean, and so that's kind of what it looks like all the way around. So when we come up here and set our metal in, we won't be reusing these holes. It'll probably make new ones. That's okay, because I made the metal big enough to cover all of this. So anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. So now it's time to put everything up, pack everything into the truck, and yeah, I guess we're gonna call it a night. I'll catch back up with you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, well, it's another day. Didn't get finished last night, but ran a few calls this morning and figured we'll get back on the bus now. So got to mark off a couple things, get some butyl tape up here. It's a little warmer today, so it should be a little easier to deal with. And then, yeah, I'm trying to fill that hole in. So let's get to it. All right, so now we have everything set up, and I have marked every 3 inches and that's where our screw is going to go. What I'm going to use to put this on is a self-tapping or self-drilling screw. Now, these are stainless steel, so we shouldn't have to worry about any rusting or anything like that. Now, here's where the problem comes in. So we have two metals. We got the metal for the delete panel, and then we have metal on the bus. So what we want to do is, or what I'm going to do, and your method may be different, but I'm going to pre-drill these holes where this will just barely go through. And the way these are designed is they are designed to cut the hole and then bite in with the threads. So the hole they carve is a little smaller. The issue is when it goes to the first layer of metal, it's already going to try to bite into the second layer. And sometimes they'll break. Other times they won't fully secure the metal together. So, sorry about the plane in the background. Well, that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to pre-drill the holes, set this thing up there, get the butyl tape ready, and then hopefully attach it to the bus. Alright, well, panel's sitting up there. So we're at the point of install now. So my ladder's back here because, of course, once I get the panel in, I won't be able to come down that way. So I'll get up here and show you guys what we got. I guess now the key is to not fall off the bus. Oh boy. Which I gotta say, this isn't one of my favorite places to be. It's up high. But I can see why people like a rooftop deck. Anyway, we'll show you what we're doing here. Alright, so as you can see, our panel's pre-drilled and basically ready to install. So let's get the butyl tape and stuff on. Sorry if the wind noise is getting to you guys. It's a little more up here, a little windier up here. So let's see what we can do. Alright guys, well, other than getting a couple more screws in it, because up there's two, down here's a couple of holes. I just got to put some more screws in it, but that looks pretty good. So you can see where the butyl tape's already coming out. So as the excess comes out, I'll trim that off. So all in all, I think that's going to work. All right. Well, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to call that a win. All the screws bite, you can actually see butyl coming through the holes. So that's good. Of course, there's some butyl there, but everything that hit here is in that hat channel. So butyl. Yep, glue on all the screws. So that should create a good seal. And then of course I've got whoa, hang on a minute, why'd you do that? There we go. I've got some self-leveling die-core lap sealant that'll go up there once we get the other roof hatch delete done. I've got a tube, I need to order a couple more tubes. But, man, isn't that solid? Sweet. I've still got a couple more screws to put in. There was about 4 holes or so that didn't get a screw. I'm gonna go buy some more. A whole box of those was only like $22, but they didn't have a whole box. Anyway, I hate that I wasn't able to get any more footage on installing this. And the reason being is I couldn't really hold the camera and try to film at the same time. I need to get me a good tripod. But basically what I did was anywhere the screws were, or the holes that I pre-drilled, I put the butyl tape right over that. So as the screw would come through, it would kind of get some of the butyl tape on the threads and then pull that through with it. And you guys can see that the butyl tape is actually, you know, and this stuff stays sticky. Like it doesn't dry up. It's almost kind of tar, almost in a way. It's some good stuff. A lot of people use it for like RV window installs and things like that. So I figured it'd be perfect for that. Good and waterproof. If I can find the link where I ordered that stuff, it's been a year or two since that's actually a couple years old. If I can find the link, I'll leave it down below. I think I got it off Amazon. But that's gonna be it on this video, guys. It's another day working on the bus. I'm gonna try to get the rear hatch done. I don't know if I'll film that. I might do that one off camera, just so I can kind of get to rolling on this, because we're wanting to do some camping here soon. But anyway, appreciate everybody watching. Like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you guys can go back and look at some of our other videos. We got some camping videos, building bus videos. We got some videos on the trailers and some different camping setups we've had. We got a couple videos on some of the diesel heaters we've got. So there's a little bit of everything on here. But that's gonna be it. You guys take care, and see you on the next one.